I'd like to call the Monday, April 5th City of Vandalia Council meeting to order. We'll start with a moment of reflection, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Council, you've had an opportunity to review the study session minutes of March 15th and the council meeting minutes of March 15th. Are there any comments or corrections? Being none, they stand approved. We have no communications, petitions, or awards, nor do we have a public hearing. And that brings us to comments from interested citizens. So if someone would like to make a comment, please step to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and your comments. And also, if there's anyone online that would like to make a comment, please raise your hand and they will unmute you.
She does not wish.
There's one of them.
Holly? Okay, this is the first time I've done this.
Don't be nervous.
My name is Gina Hall. You want my home address or the business where we're going to,
That's fine.
where we're going
Home's
to be?
fine.
I live at 234 North American Boulevard. I'm just letting y'all know, Doug Rentz and I were starting to get into the old stubbies. Opening it back up. It's not going to be stubbies. Get rid of that past. It's going to be new. Any input from anybody, greatly appreciated. That's about it. Just want to let y'all know.
Here, I'll help her
We're
out.
opening it up.
Yeah, we're gonna open Stubby's up under a new name called the Flats. I have a whole layout, so everybody can see it. Go from there. If any suggestions or help, would be much appreciated. It's gonna be the old style, nice restaurant, nice, ain't gonna be enough drugs, ain't all that crap, nothing.
That's why I said, get rid of the
Simple,
old.
Back what it used to be when we were all in school. So I'm the one that's doing it all. She runs it all.
I do have floor plans somewhat for the dining area and where the bar is, and then we're just gonna have
Basically, everything plain Jane. Everybody sees, and if anybody in
wide open.
yeah, wants to change it, you know, put it out there.
All right.
You're here for the community. That's what you want.
All right. Well, that is good news, and I think it's always great to have new businesses coming to Vandalia and starting up like this, so seems
I
like
miss
time.
the old stubbies growing up. I graduated in '85.
Uh-huh.
Tells you how old I am. But yeah, I miss the old stubbies. And a lot of people are excited for it to come back, and hopefully, you know, we get a lot of positive feedback, help from you guys on any recommendations or what have you. We're more than willing to take it.
Appreciate it all. Any help, I'd help. I mean,
Right.
I'd appreciate it. Thank
All
you.
right. Well, that's good news. We know the shopping center changed hands here a year or so ago, and it's under new management, and I know they're excited about
Yes.
revitalizing that area, and,
We met with him today, and he is super excited to get it rolling.
all right.
Well, and everybody knows Hawks is moving.
Mhm.
Yes, or I let that one out of the bag. I don't know. They're going back to somewhere
Where
by the
they-
dental there.
I think.
So that building's gonna be empty. I'm
Yeah.
trying to take some of it and try to take, I guess, does anybody remember when Zavakis owned it? It used to be the banquet hall right at the end.
Where 2 Men in a Truck are right
I
now.
know you do, David.
Yep.
I know you very well.
So that's what we was planning on.
David's old enough to remember that.
It used to be a banquet hall. Was there ever a door right there in front? You remember that, when Zavakis owned it?
Or you had to go in through the bar to
You had
get over
go
that
in
area.
and-
I think you entered from the side. I don't remember
Yeah,
a door in the
just do that
front.
like- So that's what we want to do, and try to just take as much of the building we can and keep everything going.
Help revitalize Vandalia a little bit. Get people back.
That's exciting. We
trouble.
wish you luck.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to make a comment? Nobody online, Darren? Okay, we will move on to the city manager's report. We have a couple of information items.
Well, Your Honor, the first thing that I would like to say is now that our meetings are back and open, it sure is nice to have citizens come here in person and share with city council. So I appreciate you coming in tonight, and that just kind of feels good to be moving on from this weird COVID world that we live in. The first information item that I have for you, sir, is with regard to income tax assistance. We'll be extending the hours. The Income Tax Division will be open Saturday, April 3rd from, well, that already happened. We were open this weekend from 8 a.m. to noon. Saturday, April 10th, 8 a.m. to noon. April 13th, which is a Tuesday, 7:30 a.m. Come in a little bit early and stay late till 6 p.m. Wednesday, April 14th, 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Thursday, April 15th, 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tax office staff will be available to assist taxpayers in the preparation of city income tax returns. And just as a friendly reminder, the deadline for filing has been extended until Monday, May 17th. The other option out there is to file electronically, and so income tax returns for both Vandalia and Brookville can be completed using the City Tax Online Preparation Tool. The online tool is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It includes easy-to-follow step-by-step instructions that can be accessed through the city's website at vandaliaohio.org. If a taxpayer does not have access to the internet, they're instructed to contact the tax office to receive a form. That's it, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you. We have no old business, and that brings us to our first resolution of the night, that being Resolution 21-R-17. Mr. McDonald, by title only.
A resolution declaring various items as surplus and authorizing disposal of such items.
Thank you. Mr. Wendt?
Thank you, Your Honor. Department directors have compiled a list of items that staff would like council to declare as surplus and grant authorization to dispose of those items. The surplus items would be placed on gov deals or otherwise disposed of by the city manager as provided by law.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
Your Honor, move that we approve Resolution 21R17 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Lewis and a second by Vice Mayor Ehlers that we approve Resolution 21-R-17 as presented. Are there any comments? Call the roll.
Councilmember Woods?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Follett?
Yes.
Councilmember Fairst?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Ehlers?
Yes.
Mayor Herbst?
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. Next, we have Resolution 21-R-18. Mr. McDonald?
A resolution authorizing the filing of a grant application with the Montgomery County Arts and Cultural District.
Thank you. Mr. Wendt?
Thank you. Assistant City Manager Holloway submitted an intent to apply with Montgomery County Culture Works for a special project grant to partially fund a public mural. This grant is available to various artists, various arts, cultural, and nonprofit agencies, including government agencies within Montgomery County. The city's intent to apply is currently under review. The grant is offered to local government organizations with a 50% match of funds. The city intends to request $5,000 from Montgomery County Arts and Cultural District for a $10,000 mural project. With council support, the $5,000 match could be allocated from the Cultural Arts Fund in the current 2021 budget. The plan for the mural project is to organize the painting of a mural in or near the center of the city. The exact location of the mural is yet to be determined, but location will be selected to have maximum visual impact from both pedestrians and those driving by. The city plans to engage a local artist to design and paint the mural, and it's also our hope to engage the community in this process by having a community paint day. The community paint day will allow members of the Vandalia community to join in the painting of the mural, which will inspire community pride in the project. And I'll point out that this is also something that's in our comprehensive plan. The deadline to apply for this grant is April 23rd, 2021. Should the city elect to apply for this funding, and if selected, this project would likely take place between July and October of this year.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
I move that we
Move that
approve.
Resolution 21-R-18 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilwoman Forrest and a second by Councilman Blakesley that we approve Resolution 21-R-18. Are there any comments? Call the roll.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Follak,
Yes.
Councilmember Fairst,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Ayers.
Yes.
Mayor Herbst.
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. And if anybody doesn't realize, we do have two council members that are online with us here tonight. Next, we have Resolution 21-R-19. Mr. McDonald?
A resolution awarding the bid for the facility maintenance garage fuel tanks replacement project to Reliable Construction Services in an amount not to exceed $29,298.97.
Thank you. Mr. Wendt?
The two fuel tanks at the facility's maintenance garage must be replaced. The tanks are original to the construction of the sports complex and facility maintenance garage and are over 30 years old. The expected life for the design of the current tanks when stored outdoors is 15 to 20 years. The outer steel layer has ruptured in several places on the tanks and has deteriorated over time. Staff has sealed the ruptured areas with fiberglass material over the years, as well as painted the tanks several times as was permissible and acceptable in normal maintenance. While the maintenance extended the useful life of the tanks, the outer shell has continued to deteriorate and could be a safety concern for the public. The new replacement tanks are double-wall steel design, and they have a 30-year limited warranty. Bids were advertised on February 12th, 2021, and February 19th, 2021. The two proposals were received. The lowest and best bid was from Reliable Construction Services in the amount of $33,492.73. The proposed cost is $8,492.72 above the budgeted amount. This is largely due to having to incorporate a shutoff valve and install bollards. To meet the safety requirements and to offset the unanticipated overage, Park and Rec Director Clark has directed our maintenance staff to install the required bollards in-house, and this will result in a cost savings of $4,193.75. To offset the remaining overrun of $4,298.97, the Public Works Department has agreed to complete a portion of the paving maintenance work at the sports complex, which will be paid out of the same capital line item. The final project will cost $29,298.97, and this strategy requires no additional appropriations and will allow the Park and Rec Department to complete all necessary work on the asphalt maintenance plan for 2021.
Anything else? Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Your Honor, I'll move to approve Resolution 21R-19 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Follak and a second by Councilman Lewis that we approve Resolution 21-R-19 as presented. Are there any comments? Call the roll.
Councilmember Follak,
Yes.
Councilmember Fairst,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Ayers,
Yes.
Mayor Herbst.
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. Next, we have Resolution 21-R-20. Mr. McDonald?
A resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Harris Sod and Seed.
Thank you. Mr. Wendt?
With the closing of BR Mulch at the end of March, the city has negotiated an agreement with Harris Sod and Seed for the disposal of brush and yard waste debris for the city and our residents. The city will use the facility as a disposal site for leaf collection each fall.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 21-R-20.
Second.
I have a motion by Vice Mayor Ayers and a second by Councilman Follak that we approve Resolution 21-R-20 as presented. Are there any comments? Call the roll.
Councilmember Fairst,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Follak,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Ayers?
Yes.
Mayor Herbst?
Yes, the motion carries 7-0. Next, we have Resolution 21-R-21. Mr. McDonald?
A resolution authorizing the purchase of hardware and software services for 3 Motorola radio consoles requested by the Division of Police to Motorola in the amount of $27,945 and repealing Resolution 21R15.
Thank you. Mr. Wendt?
At the March 15th council meeting, council approved Resolution 21R15 titled Resolution Authorizing the Purchase for 3 Motorola radio consoles requested by the Division of Police to Motorola in the amount of $27,945. This resolution authorized the purchase of Motorola radio consoles as part of an upgrade to the existing system. However, the purchase was actually for hardware and software services for 3 Motorola radio consoles as part of an upgrade to an existing system. Therefore, Resolution 21R21 repeals 21R15 and approves the purchase of said upgrade services.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
Your Honor, I'll move to approve Resolution 21R-21 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Follick and a second by Councilman Lewis that we approve Resolution 21-R-21 as presented. Are there any comments? Call the roll.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Councilmember Woods?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Follick?
Yes.
Councilmember Fairst?
yes,
Vice Mayor Ayers?
Yep.
Mayor Herbst?
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. Next, we have Resolution 21-R-22. Mr. McDonald, by title only.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Vandalia Professional Firefighters Association, Local 3519 IAFF.
Thank you. Mr. Wendt?
This legislation authorizes the city manager to enter into a successor collective bargaining agreement with the Vandalia Professional Firefighters Association, Local 3519 IAFF.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
Your Honor, move we approve Resolution 21R22.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Lewis and a second by Vice Mayor Ayers that we approve Resolution 21-R-22 as presented. Are there any comments? Call the roll.
Councilmember Woods?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Follick?
Yes.
Councilmember Fairst?
yes,
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Ayers?
Yes.
Mayor Herbst?
Yes, the motion carries 7-0. We have no ordinances in their first reading, nor do we have any ordinances in their second reading. We do have an emergency ordinance, that being Emergency Ordinance 21-07. Mr. McDonald?
An ordinance to revise appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Vandalia, Montgomery County, Ohio, during the calendar year ending December 31, 2021, and amending Ordinance 20-36 and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Mr. Wendt?
Finance Director Leiter is requesting the approval of the following supplemental appropriation ordinance for a net overall increase in the general fund in the amount of $48,100 and an increase in the crisis intervention training fund in the amount of $90,000. The supplemental is for the following reasons: within the general fund, $30,000, an increase of the 2021 budget appropriations to account for rental storage expenses for the fire division. The city entered into a lease agreement for space to store various property and equipment. The lease includes a term of 24 months and commenced January 1, 2021 at the rate of $2,300 per month. The rental amount was not included in the 2021 budget, and therefore an increase in appropriations to account for the lease payments is necessary. And also $18,100 increase of the 2021 budget appropriations to account for an unexpected expense regarding an invoice dated April 20th, 2019, received by the Police Division from a vendor in late December 2020. Finally, in the Crisis Intervention Training Fund, $90,000, an increase of the 2021 budget appropriations to account for expenses related to the agreement with the county for assistance with cases involving addiction, mental health, etc. The city previously entered into a memorandum of understanding with the Montgomery County Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services Board for a period of 12 months in 2020 and again in 2021. The agreement provides for the assistance to the city's police officers related to police calls involving mental health situations. The city Voices and receives funds from the county and subsequently reimburses South Community for the same amount. Due to COVID-19, timing of the receipts and invoices and funds received from the county to reimburse South Community, the appropriations must be increased for years 2020 in the amount of $45,000 and 2021 also in the amount of $45,000.
Thank you. And since this is an emergency ordinance, I will open up a public hearing. So if anyone would like to speak on this ordinance, please come to the podium, state your name and address for our record and your comments. Or online if anyone would like to speak. Being none, I'll close the public hearing. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve ordinance 21-07 as an emergency.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilwoman Woods and a second by Councilman Follick that we approve emergency ordinance 21-07. Are there any comments? Call the roll.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Follick,
Yes.
Councilmember Fairst,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Ayers,
Yes.
Mayor Herbst.
Yes, the motion carries 7-0. Next, we'll move on to reports from boards and commissions. Item A, we have a variance request for landscaping at 6425 Miller Lane. Mr. Wendt?
Thank you, Your Honor. The purpose of this variance request is to allow for a 10-foot wide screening between Culver's and New Life Worship Center where a 30-foot wide screening is required. If a fence or mound was proposed between the two properties, then only a 15-foot wide screening would be required. Culver's has provided a landscape plan that, in their opinion, would enhance the existing landscape and screening between the two properties. Also, Culver's has suggested their landscaping plan would be more visually appealing than a fence. The Board of Zoning Appeals reviewed this request at its March 10th, 2021 meeting and voted 5-0 to recommend approval with 2 conditions. Would you like me to continue? There's two additional variances on this property.
Yeah, they're listed as separate variances.
Unless you'd like to vote on them separately at the, you want me to read them all off right now, or you want to?
Well, we'll just stick with the first one.
Okay.
Okay? All right, and I believe we have Mr. Myers with us tonight. Is there anything you'd like to add on this particular item of the variance? Okay, all right, thank you. Do I have a motion?
Your Honor, I'll move to approve the variance for landscaping at 6425 Miller Lane.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Follick and a second by Vice Mayor Ayers that we approve the variance for landscaping at 6425 Miller Lane. Are there any comments? Call the roll.
Councilmember Follick,
Yes.
Councilmember Fairst,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Ayers,
Yes.
Mayor Herbst.
Yes, the motion carries 7-0. I'm sorry for the confusion on that last one there, Mr. Wendt. Next, we have item B is the variance for the drive-through facility at 6425 Miller Lane.
You'll get me trained before too long,
I know, I'll
right?
work on it.
The purpose of this variance request is to allow for a drive-through facility to be located in the front yard where drive-through facilities are only permitted in the side or rear yard. This request is part of a proposal to demolish the existing building that formerly occupied Ruby Tuesday and construct a new Culver's restaurant with a drive-through facility. Culver's has provided a landscape plan that, in their opinion, would minimize the visibility of the drive-through facility from the public rights-of-way. The Board of Zoning Appeals reviewed this request at its March 10th, 2021 meeting and voted 5-0 to recommend approval with a condition.
All right, thank you. And again, I'd like to offer, if you have anything you'd like to add, this would be the time to do it. Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the variance drive-through facility at 6425 Miller Lane, subject to the conditions stated by BZA.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilwoman Farson, a second by Councilman Blakesley that we approve the variance for the drive-through facility at 6425 Miller Lane with the conditions that were presented. Are there any comments? You call the roll?
Councilmember Fairst,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Follak,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Ayers,
Yes.
Mayor Herbst.
Yes, the motion carries 7-0. Thank you. Lastly, we have a variance for accessory structure at 4511 Poplar Creek Road. Mr. Wendt?
Thank you, Your Honor. The purpose of this variance request is to allow for a 480-square-foot addition to an existing detached garage in the front yard where detached garages must be located in the side or rear yard. The existing detached garage is 1,200 square feet and was approved of a variance in 2006. The detached garage is located approximately 10 feet from the property line adjacent to South Brown School Road, and the requested addition would reduce the setback to approximately 4 feet. The property has several topography challenges, which limits the location an accessory structure could be constructed. The Board of Zoning Appeals reviewed this request at its March 10th, 2021 meeting and voted 4-0 to recommend approval.
All right, thank you. Not sure if Mr. Flannery is online or not, but if you are there, Mike, if you'd like to make any comments, now would be the time. Okay. All right, can I have a motion?
Your Honor, I'll move we approve the variance request for an accessory structure at 4511 Poplar Creek Road.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Lewis and a second by Vice Mayor Ayers that we approve the variance for the accessory structure at 4511 Poplar Creek Road. Are there any comments? Call the roll.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Follak,
Yes.
Councilmember Fairst,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Ayers,
Yes.
Mayor Herbst.
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. Council, you've had an opportunity to review the Arts Council minutes of January 19th, the Arts Council draft minutes of March 16th, the Civil Service meeting minutes of February 2nd, the Civil Service meeting minutes of February 18th, the Civil Service draft minutes of March 3rd, and the Planning Commission minutes of January 12th. Are there any comments? Being none, they stand approved. That brings us to council comments. Mr. McDonald?
Nothing, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Wendt?
I'd just like to thank our hardworking staff, our team of public servants, and let them know that it's a pleasure to serve with them.
Thank you. Councilman Lewis?
Yes, I had an idea to present that I'd like Mr. Wendt to maybe further investigate. The city stands to receive quite a bit of money from the recent legislation at the federal level, as do most or all municipalities throughout the United States. I don't know that we have a finite number as to what that amount of money would be. Also know that the various PPP programs that have been initiated and serviced through the SBA and your local banks to provide funding for businesses. Vandalia has approximately 750 businesses within its city limits. And I thought it would behoove us to investigate a program similar to the PPP program that provided funding to various businesses, and that was the Paycheck Protection Program. And it provided money to businesses that showed a loss, would cover payroll, rent, and utilities. Since the majority of our revenues are generated by income tax, both by the citizens, but principally by the businesses that exist, it's kind of their tax money that we're getting back, or our own tax money. So with that said, I would really like to look into some kind of a program whereby some of these funds could be allocated for our businesses within the confines of the city,
I think it's a great idea. Mr. Went, anything you'd like to add?
Yes, Mr. Lewis, I'd be happy to work with Assistant City Manager Holloway to assemble a task force and report back to you at our April 19th meeting about what sort of things we might be able to do with the American Rescue Plan funds to help out our businesses in town. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Forrest?
I think that's a great idea, David. I'm glad you thought of that. I
I
want
can't
to
take all the
say
credit
that,
for it.
I appreciate and was honored to be invited to an employee recognition luncheon last week, and where we were able to listen to the highlights of 23 employees, which then I read afterward have served the city for over 420 years. But it was a really nice and uplifting time, and I think that it gives us all an opportunity to say thank you to the great employees that we have. So thank you, staff, for putting that together. Also, if you'll notice you all received that postcard about the Castle Hills survey, but they extended the deadline. So if you still haven't sent that in, please do so. We need your input. I think that's all for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Woods?
Nothing to,
Councilman Follick?
Just a couple of things real quick. Just echoing what Councilwoman Farce commented on. I think the other thing to point out, which was about the Employee Service Awards, is the number of employees that we have that have reached 25 or 30 years of service with the organization, and there were 7 this year. So the fact that we have some very long tenured employees within the organization says great things about the city's history and management over the years. So congratulations to all of them. Also, real quick, to the police division, in April, they were awarded the Agency of the Month by the Ohio Association of Chiefs of Police and the Law Enforcement Foundation for a program that they implemented last year, which is called Endangered Adults and Children's Program that Lieutenant Swafford developed. So the department has been recognized for that unique program. So congratulations to them. And then also just to highlight that, once again, the city in the annual water and sewer rate survey that the city of Oakwood does every year, we are ranked the 5th lowest combined water and sewer rate out of 63 jurisdictions. So I think that speaks volumes that, we have a great public water and sewer utility. It's done at an affordable price. And we all know that there are challenges ahead for infrastructure, but that we continue to enjoy a low rate combined. So kudos to staff for that as well. That's all I have.
Well, thank you. Vice Mayor Ehlers?
Nothing, thank you.
Okay. Well, I'd just like to thank everyone for coming tonight. It's good to be able to get back together on these meetings, and we appreciate that. I have no further comments, so this meeting is adjourned. Just once. Thank you.